My name is Ritch. I'm the founder and owner of Gator Pit of Texas Custom Barbecue Pits here in Houston, Texas. I'm going to walk you through what our process is of when you place your order with our company. First of all, you can email me, you can call me, or you can walk into my facility. I'll be happy to show anybody that comes here. I will be happy to walk you through my shop, show you how we build our pits, show you the process of our build, show you the quality of our pits. We'll sit right here at my desk. If you have a standard model off my website that you are interested in purchasing or discussing with me, we'll do it right here. If you want to bring in some specifications and go over those of a design that you may have or want us to custom design and build a pit for you, we'll do that right here in my office, and you're going to deal with me. You're not going to deal with any salesman. I do have an assistant, but all the pit orders, everything goes through me directly. So you're only going to have to deal with me, not a salesman. So you can pick from a variety of different designs that Gator Pit offers you, from trailer rigs to backyard pits. We have different types of trailer rigs. We have different types of backyard pits. We try to get a backyard pit and a trailer pit that's going to meet everybody's budgets and needs. You're going to start out in the $1,000 range, give or take, on our backyard units. You're going to start out around a $3,000 range on any of our trailer rigs, and then you're going to work your way up depending on size and features. But we got a very thorough website here. You can click on, say, the backyard pits, and we're going to use our Party Gator, which is our most popular backyard unit that we sell. We have more of this one pit on order than we do any of the other items combined. So even if you don't see an option down here that you want on your pit, doesn't mean that we don't offer it or can't do it. Gator Pit is a true custom designer and builder of barbecue pits. We've been doing it for over 20 years. Let me know what you want. I'll tell you whether we can or can't do it. I'll tell you if it's a good idea to do it or not. I'm very direct, I'm very blunt. If somebody comes to me with a design that I know won't work, I won't build it. And I'll tell you right up, we won't do that because of this reason. Because we don't want you to be unhappy with your Gator Pit. Again, our name's on it. Our name is everything to us. Our reputation is quality, custom, and a lot of pit for the buck. When you order a Gator Pit, we mentioned earlier the process of when you call, walk in, or email me to talk to me and discuss ordering a Gator Pit. What's going to happen from that point on, as far as our construction phase, is we create a work file for you. And then what's going to happen is your work file is going to get pulled by my shop manager. That shop manager is going to assign it to the best welder we have to build your specific pit. Okay? It's one welder per pit. It's one welder per pit. We don't have 5 or 6 welders all building one pit. We don't have an assembly line in my shop. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. We have welding stations, and those welding stations are one welder, one pit, not one welder and one firebox, which then goes to one welder who built a main chamber, and then another welder attaches the two. We don't have an assembly line like that. If you do that, you don't have the quality that we're known for in Gator Pit. So I mentioned outside when I showed you our raw steel in our pipe yard out there. They're going to take that raw pipe, they're going to bring it in here, they're going to cut the size that they need. That welder, again, assigned that one pit being your pit, is going to start your pit and finish your pit. I mentioned individual bays. This is one welder's bay right here. He does have a helper, okay? Every welder is going to have an assistant with him. That welder is going to take that raw pipe, he's going to cut it to length. In this case, this is 48 long, 20 inches in diameter. He's also building the firebox at the same time. This is the 1/2 inch thick square firebox. A lot of people don't think that Gator Pit builds square fireboxes on our Gators. In fact, we do. This is a 1/2 inch thick firebox. It's also an option on our pit page, on our website pages for that particular pit if you want to add that square box to it. Some of our Gator Pits come with square boxes standard. Again, it just depends on what you're ordering and what you want on your Gator Pit. We can pretty much do anything anybody wants. And a square firebox can go in any pit that we offer. Just to show you how thick 1/2 inch steel plate is for a 1/2 inch firebox, I'm going to use a penny here on the side wall of this to show you how thick this is. It is almost the width of a penny. That is some major steel. This is another one of my welder stations. Again, individual bays, individual welders working on an individual order. This particular welder's got his main chamber built. He's got his round firebox attached to it. He's got his base, his legs, and his lower storage area assembled as well. The next thing he's going to do is fit his door. This is another one of my welder stations. Again, one welder building one customer's pit. I want to point out too, when you saw my pipe yard out there where we had that raw pipe that my welders bring in here to cut for these pits, notice the surface rust that was on the new pipe out there. Notice what the pit looks like now when they work on it. There's zero rust. It's completely stripped down to the clean bare metal. I mean, that's clean. Also notice how they weld the end caps on here and they buff all that out. It takes hours just to do this. Again, it goes back to Gator Pit's quality. These are things that we do that a lot of the other manufacturers don't do. We take the time to fit this perfectly. We take the time to smooth out this was one big welded bead that went all the way around here. It takes at least an hour, hour and a half just to smooth this part out of it. That's why it takes time to get a Gator Pit. We don't rush it. We don't mass produce them. We can only get this kind of quality by having one welder giving your pit the attention it needs to get to this quality. And we won't change that just to get pits out faster. That's not what I'm known for. That's not what I'm going to do. That's not why I started this company and claim to have the best quality barbecue pits on the market, which I do today believe we have the best quality barbecue pits on the market, because no other manufacturers out there taking this time, putting that much attention into the detail of their product, because most of those just want to put it together, get it out, and take your money. If you notice down here, there's a level, a bubble level down here. My welder is making sure that the entire time he's building this customer's barbecue pit, that this pit doesn't go out of level. He wants to make sure that it's just perfectly squared, perfectly leveled, so that when you get it, you're not having any issues with grease drains, the flow of the air going from the firebox out the stack. This welder's paying attention to detail while he's constructing your pit, because he knows if he pays attention to that detail while he's building it, he knows in the end it is a quality product, and he knows it's going to meet my standards, and they're extremely high standards, because that's what my customers pay for, and that's what they expect to get when this arrives to their house. That's what they expect to get when they put their first fire in it. We're going to maintain that quality of standard. I want to give you an idea of what the finished product of a Gator Pit looks like. We just walked through my shop. I showed you what the raw steel process was, from the pipe out in the yard, getting it to the welder station, the welder then cutting it, and then starting the construction process of it. I showed you at least 3 pits out there that I know of in 3 different welding stations. I actually have 5 different welding stations. I only walked you through 3 of them because I was planning to just give you an idea of what the construction process is like and the time that it takes to get a Gator Pit from start to finish and into your house. This is a finished product. This pit, there's not a name for it on my website. You're not going to find it on my website. This was actually a design pit that I did for a customer here locally in Houston for his outdoor kitchen at his house. It's got kind of a unique firebox on it that he needed because it's going to insert in a brick enclosure, and on left and right sides he's going to have cabinets and counter spaces and sinks and all this stuff. Vent hoods as well. But I want to show you the finished product. You know, you got the Cool Touch stainless steel handles. These handles, we don't use wood on our pits. We don't put wooden handles, wooden shelves. Everything is steel. Steel lasts. Stainless steel handles don't rot, crack, break, come off. Again, quality. These aren't the small stainless steel handles or little spring handles that a lot of other people use. These are actually stainless steel, 1/2 inch diameters rod that runs through them. You can pick it up. I'm going to hold the lid down. You can pick it up and you're not even worried about the handle popping out because it's only got tabs on both sides of it. That rod runs all the way through it. Again, quality. This is a square firebox. It's 1/4 inch thick. This customer has a grill up on top. There's a food tray that actually slides out the front, but he can grill burgers over here. You got the heavy duty firebox, fully flanged all the way around. The heavy duty grate that we put in our pits, all 1/4 inch thick steel, 1/4 inch thick firebox, 1/4 inch thick expanded metal fire grate. It's reinforced with angle and cross supports as well. That makes it last longer when you can beef these things out. You can frame these grates out. You reinforce them with more angles in the middle to keep it from sagging over time with heat. Makes them last longer. Again, everything that Gator Pit can do to make this pit last you a lifetime, that's what we do. We want you to be able to pass this on to your kids and your grandkids. Getting back over here, you've got our commercial gauges. These are actually commercial temperature gauges. We have the company that manufactures these make these for us. That's why it has our Gator logo in there. Our website's in there as well. But they also have a recalibration set screw in the back. If you ever think these gauges are not calibrated, or if you need to recalibrate them for whatever reason, you can do that with these gauges. Again, something that you can do with Gator Pit that a lot of the other manufacturers out there just don't offer on their pits. Sure, they'll sell you a gauge for $49.50, but that gauge you can probably buy at the local retail hardware store for $19.99. These are true quality industrial commercial gauges. I'm in an industrial oil field area here where my shop is. Oil field companies all around me. Oil field service companies all around me. Guess where they come and buy their gauges for a lot of their equipment? They buy my barbecue gauges for their equipment. That's how strong these gauges are. You've got the fully flanged doors. You notice there's a 1/2 inch piece of flat bar welded, and I'll say this, on all 4 sides of this door. And I say all 4 sides because a lot of the other guys out there aren't welding the top seams up. They leave that top seam there because they use a different hinge system up there. They use a round bar that goes all the way across. Well, when you put that round bar hinge all the way across there, you can't flange that top seam. That's why we use the hinges we do. So when you're looking at pits and you're wondering, well, why does Gator Pit have a hinge like that? That hinge doesn't go all the way across. There's a reason why our hinges don't do that, because the ones that go all the way across, they merely cover the seam up and hide it. They don't flange it to keep it from leaking. We flange it, it doesn't leak. On the inside, you can see now, it's more prominent, the flanging all the way around and how the door insets into the pit. And then the flanging is actually what the door rests on the outside of the pipe. Tight seal again. Gator Pit's known for our tight doors. Google Gator Pit barbecue pits and you're going to see a bunch of people talking about how tight our doors fit. Gator's pits don't leak. Notice also we have internal flanging. Top, actually this is the bottom of the door lid, but I'm going to call it the top because we're looking at it, it looks like the top. Here and here. When you close this door, these internal flanges, I call them drip bars. What they do, again, is they further seal the top seam. So there's actually 2 flanges, one on the outside that overlaps a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, and one on the inside that seals it a whole inch. On the upright section of our smokers, I'm going to point out that this is 1/4 inch thick steel minimum. And the reason I want to point out that this is 1/4 inch thick steel is because a lot of the other manufacturers out there that so-called custom built pits make this a 3/16 or an 1/8 inch plate. We actually put 1/4 inch thick steel. If you're 1/4 over here, why would you not be 1/4 inch over the furthest end of your firebox, where it typically runs cooler over here? You want thicker steel, you want it to retain heat, you want to be able to cook in these upright chambers. We put 2 handles on our doors as opposed to 1 in the middle. Why do we put 2 handles on here? Again, everything Gator Pit does has a reason. There's a purpose for it. If you can tighten that handle at the top and tighten that handle at the bottom, when you close that door, it's going to pull the door in here and here up against the flange on the inside of the upright, minimizing or preventing any smoke leak or heat loss out of your upright door. That's why we put 2 handles on here and not 1. 1 won't do it. 1 will close the door, but 1 won't seal the door. Again, all our uprights are going to come with a commercial stainless steel Gator Pit gauge. We have a door stop here, so you don't open up your door and it swing all the way back and nail your stack or whatever you have over here. We've got our heavy hinges over here as well. We have a flange that goes all the way around the door that overlaps the box, the upright. We have the drip bars or the inside flanging as we do over here. We have the same thing here, top and bottom. And you've got our nicely fit sliding meat racks. And you saw how easy I just did that. It's that easy. And with the angle of the camera now facing it head on, you can see there's very little drop in it. Very little. So why do we put the tab only on the bottom of our sliding food racks? Because on the bottom you have to have somewhere to grab this because you can't get in there to get this rack out. You've got to grab something to pull it out. But notice the top ones don't have that. You can easily grab the angle and slide those out. It's that easy. And again, there's another reason why we only put it on the bottom. It's because how would you like to have your nice cooked full pan of meat? Brisket juices in there, your pork butt juices in there, or your pot of bean, or your full pan of beans, and you slide it in there and it rips it like the Titanic. So we only put them on the lower tray. We don't put them on the top trays because that's gonna happen to you. It's happened to me and it pissed me off. I lost all my brisket juices. I gutted the bottom of my full pan. So ever since then, I only put it on the bottom. And that raises another question or another comment. These pits, I don't just design them and build them. I cook on them. So a lot of my designs, a lot of why they're designed the way they are is based on cooking experience. And a lot of years of doing that as well. I've got more years of cooking on pits than I do actually fabricating pits. All of our Gator pits, even in our budget line, are going to come with heavy duty commercial casters. And when I say heavy duty commercial casters, I mean exactly that. I have spent years, I have used various different types of casters over those years on my pits. And the casters that I've been using now for the past several years are these right here. These are what they call an all-weather commercial caster. They're made out of an extremely hard polymer. They don't crack, they don't break, they don't peel, they don't chip, they don't fade under UVs like a lot of the other casters out there do. And they're big. You're gonna get a minimum of a 5-inch size caster, standard. Those aren't upgrades on my Gator pits. Those are upgrades on other manufacturers' pits, but not Gator pit. Again, quality from the get-go on our standard pits, not an upgrade on your casters. This is what's gonna come with them. That's a 5-inch caster. These are the swivels. If you notice on the swivels, you've got grease zerks here. You can grease your bearings. You can opt to get the brakes added to your swivels. That is an option on most of our backyard units, okay? But the caster itself, what you're looking at right here, minus the brakes in the back, that's what you get on your Gator pit, on all of our Gator pits. Again, not an upgrade. These are about a $165 upgrade on some of our manufacturers, at least here in the local area. You get these standard in the pit, in the Gator pit, for the price listed on the website. All right, so I walked you through the order process. You call, email, you walk in, you're gonna sit with me, you're not gonna deal with the salesman. We'll go over your Gator pit designs, which pit that you want best fits your budget and your needs. I showed you the process of us pulling the pipe in, the new pipe. I stress new. We don't use propane tanks, we use brand new pipe. I showed you some of the welding stations that we have out there. I explained to you that we have one welder that builds your pit, your unique pit, that's your pit. I showed you some of the quality that we have on them out there. I explained some of the differences between how we do our construction process to get the quality that we're known for versus some of our competitors. I showed you some of the features that we do that you get standard on our Gator pits that you're not going to get that would be upgrades on our competitors. One of the main things that I want to emphasize or get across in this video is that we have a waiting list for our products. And if you're doing your research, you're going to see there's a lot of people out there that talk about the wait or the lead time for a Gator pit. The intent of this video is to show you why there is such a lead time. If I had 5 or 6 orders on any given time, you get your pit quick, but I don't. I average 80 to 100 orders a day. On any given day, any time of the year, we will have 80 to 100 Gator pits on order that day. That's a lot of Gators. And when you have one welder building that one pit for that one customer, it takes time. You figure how long it took to build that one door I showed you, how long it takes just to grind that one half seam on that round end cap on that one welder's pit that I was showing you. It takes time. That square firebox I showed you, just to build that one square firebox, takes an entire day, one welder, one helper. It takes time to get to the quality that we're known for, and that's what we want you to get. We want you to get a quality custom barbecue pit. We don't want you to sell them for less, and we want you to get what you pay for. Call me. My name is Ritch. I'm the founder and owner of Gator Pit. I've been doing this since I was 14 years old. I'm now 46 years old as of this video. I've been doing this a long time. I probably started building pits at 14 years old. I doubt if anybody out there in this business has been doing that. Not since they was 14. I'm out in that shop every day. I think my pits, I believe my pits are the best quality barbecue pit you're gonna get on the market today. Bar none. Nobody I think holds a candle to the quality that we're known for, the quality that you're gonna get. I'm not saying they're perfect. Anything can get improved. And that's why Gator Pit's quality is where it is, because I always know there's room for improvement in our products. And that's why I'm out in that shop every day looking at what I can do to improve this product for this customer. Thank you.